Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Starting with name of Allah, who is most beneficent and most merciful. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu and good morning to everyone. I'm here with lecture number 14. As you know that in last lecture we started our unit number 3. Today again we are going to continue our unit number 3. Try again, that is a poem. And in last lecture we read the poem and then we translate it and we discuss the summary and the explanation of the poem. Today we are going to discuss the exercise parts of this lesson. And in English B we are going to do Urdu to English translation of paragraph number 7. Let's start. First of all, I would suggest you that open your textbooks on page number 29. You may see this page on screen. As you know that exercise is going to be discussed by us today. First of all, we are going to start its vocabulary portion, and in vocabulary portion they are given two parts, part A and part B. Part A, write meanings of the following words: hate, persevere, strive, case, and patience. During explanation and reading of the poem, I told you the meaning of these words, and the meaning of these words are as: hate means pay attention, तवज्जो देना. Persevere means persist, साबित कदम रहना, steadfastness. And strive means struggle, कोशिश करना. Case means condition, situation, सूरत हाल. And patience means tolerance, बुर्दबारी, तहम्मुल मिजाजी. It's part B of your vocabulary portion, and in part B find synonyms of the following words. Some words are given and we have to tell the synonyms of these words. See, courage means bravery, conquer means win, be victorious, disgrace means dishonor, hard means difficult, reward means prize. As you may see that these words have the same meanings as the words are given in our exercise part, and you know that synonyms are those words which have the same meanings. Now see the next part of exercise that is also given on page number 29. The heading of this part is reading comprehension. It means that these questions are given from your text of the poem, and you have to answer these questions according to the text of the poem. And these are the exercise questions, and 6 questions are asked by us. But like always, before starting our exercise questions, we are going to discuss our text questions that are given in the front of different lines of the poem. First, we are going to discuss our text questions and see on screen your text questions and answers. Very first question is, what does the word persevere means? Answer number 1, the word persevere means to be persistent and determined. As I told you in the meanings also that persevere means steadfastness, sabit kadam rehna. So the word persevere means to be persistent and determined. Question number 2 is, if we strive, it is no disgrace. Strive means to do struggle. So the meaning of this sentence is कि अगर हम कोशिश करते हैं, it is no disgrace, it is not an insulting act. Explain the sentence. Answer number 2 is, this sentence means that there is no shame in trying hard to get something. Even if we fail in our attempts, we should try again and again. As the message of this poem is for us to try again in every situation, never lose heart. So the answer of this question is also that even we fail in our attempts, we should try again and again. Question number 3 is, why is the poet repeating sentences try again? Answer number 3 is, the poet is repeating these sentences to emphasize the message of the poem. As we know that the message of the poem is that we should never lose heart. We should try again for achieving our goal, for fulfilling our task. If we fail in first or second attempt, then to we should try again for achieving our purpose. So the poet is repeating this sentence again and again in every stanza to emphasize the message of the poem. Next we will discuss our exercise questions that are given in the exercise, and we have to answer these questions. The first question is, what is the lesson taught in the first stanza? And the text of first stanza is, it's a lesson you should read. Try again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Then your courage should appear. For if you will persevere, you will conquer, never fear. Try again. And you know the meaning of these sentences. So the lesson taught in the first stanza is, if we keep trying without losing heart, we shall succeed one day. So we should never lose heart. If we fail in our first attempt, we should try again and again for our purpose. And we should be determined, we should be steadfast, we should show our steadfastness, and we should continue our hard work. And if we keep trying without losing heart, we shall succeed one day. Question number 2 is, what can we learn from failure? In our text of the poem, we read that the failure is a teacher. If we learn from our mistakes, if we learn from our failure that in our last attempt which mistakes we made, then our failure will prove a good teacher, and next time it will succeed us. So the failure can teach us what mistakes we have made in our last attempt and gives us a chance to correct them. Question number 3 is, how is failure not a disgrace? कि नाकामी एक बेइज्जती वाली बात कैसे नहीं है? Failure is not a disgrace if we learn from our mistakes and keep trying. अगर हम अपनी नाकामी से, अपनी गलतियों से सीखें और अपनी कोशिश जारी रखें, anyone can fail. The only disgrace is in giving up. So it's not a disgrace to be failed in any attempt. The disgrace is that if anyone fails in any attempt and he gives up. Anyone can fail. Failure is not a fatal. So everyone should try again and again for achieving her purpose. Now see question number 4 of your exercise. How many times should we try and why? कितनी बार हमें कोशिश करनी चाहिए और क्यों? And it's very obvious that we should try as many times as it takes to succeed. कि कामयाब होने तक हमें कोशिश करते रहना चाहिए. If we do not keep trying, we will never succeed. Question number 5 is, what should we do if we find our task hard? And you know that even if we find that our task is hard, we should keep trying. The universal message of this poem is that it makes no difference what the situation is. If you fail in different attempts, if you find that your task is difficult, then too you should try again. You should keep on your work hard so that you may get success in any aspect of your life. So we may say that we should try as many times as it takes to succeed. If we do not keep trying, we will never succeed. Question number 5 is, what should we do if we find our task hard? And we discussed that even if we find that our task is hard, we should keep trying. Question number 6 and last question of your exercise is, give an example of struggle from your life. कि अपनी ज़िंदगी से बार बार कोशिश करने की कोई मिसाल दें. And answer of this question is, my first real struggle was learning to walk. I fell down many times, but like every child, I kept trying. And finally, I learned to walk without falling. And you know that it's very common in the life of every child, and it's really very interesting phase when a baby starts walking. He tries again and again. He falls many times, but then too he keeps on trying to learn how to walk, and then one day comes when he is successful in walking. You may give the same example of your life in answer of your question, and if you have any other example of keeping on trying, you may give that example. Next topic of our exercise is we have to define simile, and then some sentences are given and we have to point out that which the given simile means. Simile, you know, a figure of speech in which two apparently unlike things are explicitly compared, usually in a phrase introduced by like or as. You may say in short that the comparison between two unlike things by the use of the word like or as is called simile. The given definition is given in your textbook, and I'm telling you the definition of the simile in very simple words, that the comparison between two unlike things by using the word like or as. As in examples, you may see he is as fast as a horse. Now a person and horse are unlike things. They are different from one another, but because of the fastness they are comparing with one another. That's why we are using the word as, and we are saying that he is as fast as a horse. Next one is, it is cold like ice. We are talking about somewhat cold thing. We don't know what thing is it, but it's very sure that the relevant thing is different from ice, but because of coldness these two things are compared with one another, and by using the word like. It is cold like ice. ये बर्फ की तरह ठंडी है. Now you may see that in these two examples we are comparing unlike things by using the words as and like. So you have to keep in your mind the definition of the simile, that simile is the comparison of two unlike things by using the word like or as is called simile. You may see page number 30 of your textbook on screen, and on this page you are given some statements in which similes are given, and you have to tell the meaning of these similes. As I told you that simile is the comparison between two unlike things by using the words as and like. For example, as sweet as pie, colorful like crayons, as brave as a lion, as cold as ice. You may see that we are comparing two things by using the word as and like. Now we have to attempt this part of exercise. Very first statement is, on the cold winter day, under the covers, I kept as snug as a bug in a rug. The simile as snug as a bug in a rug means. Now the statement is कि एक सर्दियों के एक सर्द दिन मैं अपने बिस्तर में एक बग की तरह कंफर्टेबल जो है, जैसे एक बग जो है वो एक रग के अंदर कंफर्टेबल खुशी फील करता है, वार्म फील करता है, ऐसे लेटा रहा. Snug means comfortable, warm, cozy. Bug means an insect, and rug means, you know, a qaleen. So we have to tell the meaning of this simile. There were bugs in my bed, कि मेरे बिस्तर में जो है वो खटमल थे या इंसेक्ट्स कीड़े थे, या I was cozy in my bed, या मैं अपने बिस्तर में बहुत कंफर्टेबल था, वार्म था, और I was too cold to stay in bed, या मुझे इतनी ठंड सर्दी लग रही थी कि मैं बिस्तर में नहीं रह सकता था. And I told you the meaning of this simile is that I was cozy in my bed. ठीक है. As snug, snug means cozy, as a bug like an insect, in a rug, एक कालीन के टुकड़े के अंदर. So the meaning of this simile is I was cozy in my bed. Now see second statement. The new teacher was as sweet as apple pie. Now teacher is compared because of her sweetness with apple pie. Apple pie is very sweet thing. So the simile as sweet as apple pie means the new teacher was nice, the new teacher was big by eating too much pie, or the new teacher was rude. And you know that we are comparing teacher with apple pie because of her sweet nature, because of her nice nature. So the meaning of this simile will be A part. The new teacher was nice. Now see Third one statement, their leader was as wise as an owl. The simile as wise as an owl means the leader thought he could fly. के leader जो है वो could fly like owl. Or the leader could talk to the owls. के leader जो है वो owl से बातें कर सकता था. Or the leader knew a lot of things. As you know that an owl is considered a wise. That's why the leader is compared with wise because of his wisdom. So the meaning of this simile is the leader knew a lot of things. C is the answer of this statement. Now see fourth one statement. The shopping center was like a three-ring circus the day before Eid. As you know that circus is a very busy place where everyone is busy in any activity. Three-ring circus means very busy place. So the statement is the shopping center was like a three-ring circus the day before Eid. The simile like a three-ring circus means the shopping center was quiet, कि खामोशी थी वहाँ पे. The shopping center was big, कि shopping center बहुत बड़ा था. And the shopping center was really busy. As I told you that three-ring circus means a very busy place where everyone is busy in any activity, no one knows about anyone, everyone is busy there. So the meaning of this simile is the shopping center was really busy. In statement number 5, which simile is given, we will see Danish threw such a temper outburst over such a tiny thing. He was acting like a baby. We are talking about a person who is losing his temper at very tiny issue. कि बहुत छोटी सी बात पे जो है वो अपना उससे से बाहर हो जाना. He was acting like a baby. It's a habit of a child that a child loses his temper at very tiny issues. That's why we are saying that he was acting like a baby. The simile like a baby means Danish was mature, Danish was acting childish, or Danish was babysitting. And you know that the B is the correct answer of this question, that Danish was acting childish. Sixth one statement is Mohsin was as explosive as a volcano when he found out his bike had been stolen. The simile as explosive as a volcano means Mohsin was happy, Mohsin was angry, and Mohsin was calm. आतिश फिशां की तरह फट पड़ना. It's showing a sudden mood, a sudden outburst of emotions. That's why this simile will mean Mohsin was angry. I hope so that the meaning of these similes are very clear to you and you will prepare these meanings very well. Now I am showing the key of the answers of this question. B is the answer of very first simile, A option is the answer of second simile, and C is the answer of third one simile, and C again is answer of fourth one statement, and B is answer of last two statements of this question. Now we are going to attempt our next page of your textbook, 31 page. The next part is given, fill in the blanks to make similes. Use these similes in sentences. I'm going to repeat again the definition of the simile, that comparison between two things due to a quality by using the words as or like. And in given statements as is used, so we have to make similes. Dash as a turtle. Turtle is famous for its slow speed, so we may simile as slow as a turtle. You may write on your textbooks as slow as a turtle. Second one is as quiet as dash. Many things are famous for their quietness, for example grave and dove. So you may write as quiet as a dove or as quiet as a grave. Third one is as black dash. Now you know that coal is famous for its black color, so you may make simile as black as coal, C-O-A-L, coal, as black as coal. as tall as giant, as sour as a lemon. Lemon is famous for its sour taste. That's why you will make simile as sour as a lemon. S-O-U-R. You will write these spellings on your textbooks. And in last statement, in last simile, honey is famous for its sweetness. So you may make a simile as sweet as honey. शहद की तरह मीठा. Now see, next one definition we have to discuss. Alliteration. What is an alliteration? The repetition of the same sounds or of the same kinds of sounds at the beginning of words are in stressed syllables. You may say that the definition of the alliteration is repetition of the same sounds at the beginning of the different words in a sentence, at least in two words. Now example is given, she sells seashells by the seashore. There are two sounds that are going to be repeated in this statement. These two sounds are repeated. She sells seashells by the seashore. This repetition of the same sounds is called alliteration. On screen you are looking the solution of your part C, as you have to write these words in your part C on your textbooks. Now I was telling you the definition of the alliteration. Again I am showing you an easy definition of the alliteration. When two or more words in a poem begin with the same letter or sound, it is called alliteration. That in a poem, when two or more words are started with same letter or sound, it is called alliteration. Repeating letters or sounds at the beginning of at least two words. Repeating letters or sounds at the beginning of at least two words. You may see the example, the silver snake slithers slowly. Understand? Sound is repeated in this sentence. Notice that S is repeated in all words and is the last two words. Alliteration can be more than one letter. Now you may see very good examples of alliteration on screen. The cat caught a crafty mouse. K sound is repeated at the start of three words. The cat caught a crafty mouse. In second one example, the beautiful bluebird burst out in song. In four words, B sound is repeated at the beginning of the words. So these are the examples of alliteration. Now we are said in the next question that read the poem again in D part of your exercise. Read the poem again and find out the example of alliteration. I would suggest you that see your last stanza of your poem on page number 28. When you will open your books on page number 28, in last stanza, in very first, third and in fifth one line, you will see the repetition of the same sounds in at least two words. For example, very first line of your last stanza is, if you find your task is hard. If you find your task is hard, use your. Repetition of you sound is in first line of your stanza. And in third sentence of your stanza, time will bring you your reward. Use your reward. Again there is repetition of the same sound. And in fifth one sentence, all that why with patience you should not you. Why with patience. There is repetition of v sound in this sentence. Why with patience should not you. So in poems, the repetition of the same sounds at the beginning of at least two words is called alliteration, and we may find this alliteration in last stanza at 3 points. In first sentence, in third sentence, and then in sixth one sentence. In English Beach, we are going to discuss Urdu to English translation of paragraph number 7 that is given on page number 139 of your grammar and composition. Let's read the text of this paragraph. First, see the vocabulary of this paragraph. द बिजिएस्ट मीन्स मसरूफ तरीन, फुल ऑफ भरा हुआ, रिमेन्स रहती है, टिल लेट एट नाइट रात गए तक, ऑलमोस्ट तकरीबन, एवरी काइंड हर किस्म की, अ लॉट ऑफ बहुत से, रिक्रिएशन मीन्स सैरो तफरी, हॉकर्स मीन्स फेरी वाले, लेसेस मीन्स फीते, नीडल्स मीन्स सुइयाँ, आर्टिकल्स मीन्स चीज़ें, पिक पॉकेट्स मीन्स जेब तराश, बिवियर मीन्स होशियार रहें. After preparing these English words for Urdu words, you will read your paragraph. अनारकली लाहौर का मसरूफ तरीन बाज़ार है. यह हमेशा लोगों से भरा रहता है. दुकानें रात गए तक खुली रहती हैं. आप यहाँ से तकरीबन हर किस्म की चीज़ें ख़रीद सकते हैं. कुछ लोग यहाँ से अशिया ख़रीदने आते हैं, लेकिन बहुत से लोग सिर्फ सैरो तफरी के लिए आते हैं. अनारकली में बहुत से फेरी वाले भी होते हैं. वो बटन, फीते, सुइयाँ, क्लिप और इस किस्म के दूसरी अशिया बेचते हैं. कुछ जेब तराश भी अनारकली में आते हैं. अगर आप अनारकली जाएं तो इन जेब तराशों से होशियार रहें. As you may see that this paragraph is also consisted of different types of tenses. In almost most sentences, the present indefinite tense is used. Now see the English translation of this paragraph. Very first sentence is अनारकली लाहौर का मसरूफ तरीन बाजार है. It's a very simple sentence. Simple use of is. अनारकली is the busiest bazaar in Lahore. मसरूफ तरीन, so we will use the superlative degree of this adjective. मसरूफ तरीन, it means there is a comparison between Anarkali Bazaar and all of the other bazaars in Lahore. That's why we will use the third adjective degree. Anarkali is the busiest bazaar in Lahore. यह हमेशा लोगों से भरा रहता है. It is always crowded with people. दुकानें रात गए तक खुली रहती हैं. Simple present tense is here, and because the shops is a plural subject, that's why you will use just first form of verb. Shops remain open till late at night. आप यहाँ से तकरीबन हर किस्म की चीज़ें ख़रीद सकते हैं. Present tense and possibility is here. That's why you will use can. You can buy almost all kinds of goods from here. Goods means चीज़ें, all kinds means तमाम किस्म की. You can buy almost all kind of goods from here. कुछ लोग यहाँ से अशिया ख़रीदने आते हैं. Again simple present tense. Some people come here to buy things. लेकिन बहुत से लोग सिर्फ सैरो तफरी के लिए आते हैं. Again simple present tense. But many people come only for recreation. अनारकली में बहुत से फेरी वाले भी होते हैं. As we did such sentences in our last paragraphs also, we are talking about presence of something at anywhere. We will use there as an introductory subject, and there is a simple use of are. There are also many hawkers in Anarkali. Hawkers means फेरी वाले. वो बटन, फीते, सुइयाँ, क्लिप और दूसरी किस्म की अशिया बेचते हैं. Again simple present tense. They sell buttons, laces, needles, clips and other goods of this kind. कुछ देव तराश भी अनारकली में आते हैं. Again present indefinite tense. You may see the Urdu ending of these sentences. आते हैं, ता है, ती है, ती हैं is showing that this is a present indefinite tense. So you will translate like this. Some pickpockets also come to Anarkali. Now subject is plural pickpockets. That's why you will use first form of verb come. अगर आप अनारकली जाएं तो इन जेब तराशों से होशियार रहें. होशियार रहना, beware of these pickpockets if you visit Anarkali. This is the translation of this paragraph. Today your home task is that you have to prepare all parts of exercise discussed in today's lecture, and then you will prepare the English translation of your paragraph number 7. Now it's time to say you Allah Hafiz. Take good care of you.